ability to make in-game adjustments because he was the guy I was relying on. So like when I would turn my back and go focus on the offense during the games, he ran the whole defensive adjustments last season. He handled everything on the sideline. And so communicated with all the coaches, made all the adjustments, got them on the board, all those kind of things. And so to me, he showed me, with us being together again, that he was ready. And so now he'll take another growth step, as he just like I did when I came here, and he has to prove it on the field. But at the same time, I feel very confident he'll do a great job.
Is age a factor at all? I mean, do you think at his age, that back when you were that same age, you could have been a defensive coordinator?
I think that he's younger than I was. I was a high school coach for 15 years. And I was a head coach in high school. When he was doing all this. So, but at the same time, I think he's kind of been thrust into it sooner than maybe most have. I mean, he left our staff at Ole Miss and went from being a GA at Ole Miss to being a defensive coordinator at Eastern Illinois. That rarely ever happens. I mean, usually, you'll be fortunate if you get an FCS position coach job coming from being a GA. So he did a great job straight from that position. So to me, I think he kind of accelerated that learning curve by doing that, and he showed. And I know he did a great job there, which caused him to get the job at South Alabama. And so, I think he's young, but at the same time, I believe he's ready. And obviously, my path was a little bit different. So if I was put in that situation, I hope I could have been ready too.
Coach, you touched on facilities earlier, and if you look around the country, it seems like everyone is building something brand new and expecting new. Do you feel like Indiana has everything it needs in terms of that, or how do you feel like where your facilities are?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for right now, to me, the whole thing that I focused on was getting this locker room right. Let's make sure we nail this and get everything that needs to be done the right way, and the players' lounge and all the stuff around that. So, and I love the fact that we're going to have, when you walk in the north end zone, it's going to have a football-only feel. And as you walk down, you go down the elevator, you walk down the steps, and you come in that main entrance there to the right, it is football. You're stepping into the football complex. When you go down the steps and you get down to that ground level, it's football. You go to the left, you go to the right, it's football. And that, to me, is different than it's been in the past. And so all that hallway going down from the weight room all the way to the new locker room, it's football, football, football. And so that presents an image and a presentation of the importance we're putting on our program. And so that, to me, it's the next huge step. Yeah, we'll decide the next thing we need to do after this is all done. But at the same time, you got, the facility that they're going to be practicing in and playing in and training in and locker room in, all that stuff is going to be, brand new pretty much. And that's all you can ask for is investment in the program, and so I appreciate it.
Coach. Decline in attendance at college football games has been a kind of national issue. What do you think is the cause of that, and what's the maybe you feel like you have?
I think nationally, the cause is it's a lot easier to stay at home and watch a game on my massive big screen TV with AC and whatever I want without having to deal with all the other stuff. Now it doesn't have the same feel as being there live for sure. But I think that and the ability to kind of catch all the games, just the social the way technology is advanced. I think that's probably a variable. I think also we got to do a great job. Talk about Indiana, we got to win. So I mean that to me it's pretty simple. So I want to. Like I told our players, I said, talk about last year's Penn State game where weather got crazy and some people left at the end. There wasn't very many people. I said, well, you know what? We win that game. We find a way to finish that game, and they regret leaving. Okay? Well, many left early. We didn't finish the game, and they're like, told you so. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that's on us. So that's the part that we got to do. We got to win, okay? And so, and that to me is how we address our issue in Indiana. But from a national perspective, I just think, probably ticket costs. I'm sure they got to look at that. That's something that people that are above me got to figure out, So, but I do think it's a pretty, the numbers don't lie. So people, I think schools are going to have to address it and try and find ways to keep people coming, because the reality is those games that people are coming to put on television, they don't have the same feel if those stands aren't full. I don't care what conference you're in. So it's going to be something that's going to be addressed, I'm sure, from a national perspective. So But I think it'll kind of, hopefully we'll adjust and we'll adapt and we'll find ways to get it corrected. But you put a product on the field they want to come watch, and you have success, they'll show up.
I don't mean to sound like
You talked before about dropping the new coordinator title. Was there a little moment, maybe like was there something that led to that? I asked this question before.
Yeah.
Something specific where you said,
Well, I don't remember what game it was, but one of the weeks, it was late in the season, and I usually do all my, I did all my call sheet preparation and which the sheet I carry out there on the sideline. I create that whole sheet, and I go back and rewatch every down that we have on film of that opponent that night. And that kept getting later and later and later. And so eventually it was like I was there till 2, 3 in the morning. And then had to be back the next morning to go at it again. And I'm just like, you know what, I can't keep doing this. You know, it's just eventually got too much. And so I kind of knew when the season was over, I'm like, you know, I need to, in order for me to take the next step as a program and for us to keep, you know, I need to relinquish some of this stuff, you know. So I think that's when I knew. And then I had the right guy on staff I felt was ready, so that just made it even easier.
Coach, your recruiting success has been showing, but there's been a lot of guys that have sat in your seat trying to do what you're doing. What is it about Tom Allen that's going to be able to get that done where they couldn't do that?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is that, you know, it's recruit, it's develop. You know, and right now we're recruiting some good players to Indiana. Once we get in there, we got to develop them, you know, and we got to keep them in Indiana, and we got to help them become wherever they come in at. They got to leave at this level, you know, from a physical perspective and a mental perspective and a work ethic perspective. And so, to me, it's hopefully given the time to get it right. It takes time. I do. I mean, I'm not going to sit here. We don't recruit a bunch of, you know, junior college guys. We have a couple on our team, not very many. So that's not an area so it's not a lot of quick fixes we're trying to get. We're trying to get high school guys that we can develop, and that doesn't happen overnight. So to me, it's time. It's continued support. You know, I really do. When I came to Indiana in 2016, I said it in my initial press conference. I felt like the support for Indiana football was trajectory into an all-time high. You know, I knew the history of the program. I was born and raised in this state. You know, I love Coach Mallory, but I don't feel like he was given that same, you know, I'm not saying he wasn't given support. I don't want to criticize anybody. I'm just saying that from a facilities perspective, it's different. From an investment in their coaching staff, it's different. And that's what, you know, so to credit to Fred Glass and administration for that. So that to me is part of it, you know, and it has to be a priority, you know, and we have to you know, not just talk about it. We got to put your money where your mouth is, per se, you know, and you got to do that in this day and age of big time college sports. And so, you know, going out and getting a guy like Kalen DeBoer and giving him a contract like we did, you know, that's not normal. And that hasn't been the way it's been in the past. And when a bunch of folks wanted to hire Dave Blue away and Dr. Ray away, you know, the school responded, you know, and did some unprecedented things with their contracts. And so to me, that's what you got to do. And so I appreciate that, those are the kind of things you say. How's it different? Those kind of things are different, you know. And building a multi-million-dollar, our locker room, it's going to be gorgeous. It really is. And you walk in there, it's a wow. It really is. And so I just think that those kind of things are what we need to continue to do. And once we get that down, we figure out, what's the next thing we got to do to be able to keep that edge? Because trust me, they're all going. It doesn't stop, you know. And so you got to keep recruiting. We got to keep stacking classes on class and keep doing what we're doing. And so to me, it's grit, it's perseverance. Just keep chasing that goal and don't ever let up.
Tom, when looking at your the quarterback battle, what factors will you be considering when determining who starts for you in week 1, and will experience be a major determination?
Well, you know, it could play into it, sure. You know, and it's basically this. I believe that it comes down to who can lead our football team down the field and get us in the end zone. Okay, and so that comes down to accuracy as a passer. It goes down to execution as a quarterback in the run game and commanding the offense. It comes down to the players believing in you. You know, who does the team believe in? I think that's it. I think that's the big part of it. You know, it's moving the football team and the team believes in you. And that's the guy that has to be the guy, in my opinion. And so, but you got to be able to, move the football team down the field and score points. It's a game of points. Scoring them on offense and, not letting them score on defense. It's really not a complicated game. It's complicated to get to that point, but it's not complicated to figure out what you got to do in terms of, how the system works. So, but I just feel like that position is a position. I've said it several times today. When you talk about what's key for this year for us to take that next step and do the things we want to do, we have to elevate our quarterback play.
I know you don't want to look back, but at the surface, the decision at quarterback seems even more difficult this year than last year, which was a great battle in and of itself. Are you seeing that?
I agree. I think it's going to be a very difficult decision. But you know what? It's a good problem to have.
Right.
It's a good problem to have.
Speaking of being from Indiana, you guys had the opportunity to open this season at the Capitol. How's that feel?
I'm excited. I really am. Matter of fact, we're going to go and do some promotionals for the game and just try and get our fans fired up and get as many people there as we possibly can. And obviously playing Ball State and in-state team and playing Lucas Oil Stadium. It's a big. I've not coached a game in. When I was a high school coach, we always played state championship games. There in Indy, but they hadn't built Lucas Oil yet before, and this is new. So I've not